Good morning, everyone. Today is the March the 20th at 9 a.m. Welcome to my video today. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Today's video is going to be quite quick. I've cut all the pieces as usual, but this one is called a seesaw shutterfold card. It's quite easy to do. It's just a few scores and cuts. It does stand up by itself. I've done a couple of samples here. It will stand up by itself when we get it standing up. And as you can see, it's called a seesaw because when you look at it this way, it just looks like a seesaw going backwards and forwards, up and down. This one here I did first. It's in By the Bay DSP. I haven't used it as I didn't get the stamp set and dies in this one. I just got the paper. And this one here is in the two-tone flora paper. It's quite pretty, and the stamp set and all, I stamped the flowers, and that's in the two-tone flora as well. And I've used a variety of greetings and dies to cut my greetings out. I did find this one, there's a few out there that demonstrators that have done this one, so I've tried to make it as simple as we could. I did watch a couple of videos that they sort of went all over the place, so I'm hoping you can follow mine today. So we'll just put those aside and I'll have a little chat as we go. I'm going to bring my trimmer in first, and I'm going to do everything on my trimmer, my scoring and cutting. I'll just show you my pieces first that I'm starting with. I have done a template, and this will be in the PDF. And the PDF you'll find on my Facebook group, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. You can join that anytime. Just hit the join button and I'll approve it. I usually check every hour or so to see if anyone's on there. And my YouTube channel is the one you're on now, which is called Creative Gems. If you've got any friends that would like to join, just tell them to hit the subscribe button on that. And my Facebook page is Cards by Laura, which is where a lot of my cards and designs are posted. There's no PDFs on the Cards by Laura. It's all in the tips and tutorials page. And there I do a weekly video. Lots of the times, this one I'm recording because I'm going away for a couple of weekends in a few weeks' time, so I thought I'd record them and upload them so they're there for you to watch. Now, today I'm going to use all of the Irresistible blooms, and the paper is called Hello Irresistible. So I've die cut the flowers out of the paper, and the background paper is out of that as well. And then I've used the greeting out of there, which is the hooray, it's your day. And I've used the little splotchy stamp here as well. So I hope you like what I'm going to do today. I know I did forget my water, so hopefully my voice won't go croaky. I thought I'd get my water out. Okay, this is my template, and I have taken a photo of this and put it on my PDF. The measurements for this, and I'll read them out to you as we go. There's not many, there's only one standard piece and then all your DSP. And this today is in centimetres. It's 18.5 by 10.5 centimetres. So, and I'll show you step by step. And I'll read out the measurements of all the little pieces of DSP when we get to them. So, with your long side at the top, and as I said, it's in centimetres, we're going to score at 2 centimetres on both ends. Make sure your cutting blade's out of the road. When I have my two blades here, I always make sure my cutting blade is lower, so that way I can push it right down the bottom. And I'm not, if it's on this side of the scoring blade, I tend to sometimes pull it from up here. But if it's underneath, it can go right down the bottom, and you're not going to use it by mistake and end up cutting your cardstock instead of scoring it. So we're going to score both ends at 2 centimetres. that way. Then we're going to turn this way and we're going to cut, and we're going to line this up at 2 centimeters on this bottom edge. I'm working from this side of the scoring tool, and I'm going to cut. Now excuse if my head gets in the road a little bit. I'm going to cut from that score line to that score line, which is, and it's in 2 centimeters here on that 2 centimeter mark. So you're pretty much 2 centimeters all the way around. I'm going to bring that up. It's a little hard to see your score line. If you want, you can sort of draw a pencil line over it. I better not bump too much stuff. Excuse me if my head's in the road. There it is up there. You can always snip it again later if you miss a bit. Actually, I am going to draw a pencil line because I can't quite see my lines. I'll just get this out. Just going to draw a little pencil line there. You can rub this out before you start. We're going to cut from one score line to the other. That will help us see them a little bit better. So as I said, line it up on the 2 centimeter mark that way. Go from that, now I can see it, from that score line there down to this 2 centimeter score line down here. So just from score line to score line, turn that around 180 and go again from that score line there, which is 2 centimeters on this side, and cut down to that score line like so. So that's the only cuts you need. The rest is still a little bit of scoring. I'll rub those pencil marks out in a sec. Now we're going to line it up at the 4 centimeter mark, and on one end, so this end, doesn't matter which end you choose, you're back on the long side. We're going to score from that cut line up. Then lift your blade. You don't have to, if you don't push it down, it's not going to score. Go from that cut line down. So I'll just repeat that for you. So we've gone from this cut line at the 4 centimeter mark, go from that cut line up to the top, and from this cut line down, leaving it at 4 centimeters. Then flip it 180, line it up at 4 centimeters again, and you're going to cut in the center of the score lines, the cut lines, sorry. So I'm going to line it up at that cut line and score down. So it's opposite to this end. This end you're going to the outside edges with your scoring, and this one you're coming in the middle of your scoring. And that is all that you need to do. So on your template you'll see all that in 2 centimeters here, score, cut on those two, and then score on one end and score on the outside edges of that end. So that photo will probably help you when you're doing your scoring. Now I'm just going to get my best rubber out so it doesn't leave marks, and I'll just rub out those gently. I don't want to have pencil marks on my card. So that's that. Now you can either choose to decorate now before you fold. If you have struggled seeing the score lines, it's probably easier to fold them first. I've done it both ways, and it's either or which way you do it. Just taking off those rough bits on the back. So the two outside score lines are folded backwards as a mountain fold. As you can see, it's a mountain like that. That's what we call a mountain fold. I'll just get my bone folder. So both of those are scored burnished the same way in mountain folds. So they're going backwards. Just get rid of that. Then we've got these two little outside score lines here. we're going to fold them into valley. So you just sort of pinch them because you'll see the card's not going to go in the right spot for you. So just pinch those two and fold them backwards into a valley. You can flip it over and burnish those as well. I found this the best way to do this. So that's that. And then this last one, which is in the center of the two cut lines, that's going to go into a valley as well. And then you'll see how it all falls into place. I think I might need a new blade soon. I'm getting a little bit of furry there. When you do get furry lines like that, I've got and I'll do it later, I've got an emery board, and I just run it over with the emery board and it takes all that fluff off. But it may need that you need to change your blade. It might be getting a little bit blunt. So that's how that works. Now I've got it so this end here, this is the way I'm going to put it up. As you can see, I've got this little piece here, and that's my right way up. You can put it this way if you like, but I found because I'm right-handed, I want to go this way. It was easier, it's more natural for me to push it that way. So I've got that small piece up that end. Now my pieces, and I'll read out the measurements here. This is just a matter of decorating now. So if you go ahead and cut all your pieces first, it's so much easier. I've got 3 flowers that I've cut out of the DSP, and I've got a couple of leaves. That's the two leaf piece. There is a 3-leaf one in there as well, and the dies that will cut all of these. And then there's this tiny little one. I've chosen to use that one as well. This little piece here, depending on what size your arrangement is, and I do it on all my flower arrangement, I'll show you when we get to it. When I arrange something like this to go on a card, I just cut a circle of my matching DSP, my matching cardstock, and I use that as a base to put my flowers on. I'll show you that when we get to it. It's so much easier when you're layering it up as well. We'll go from this piece here, these pieces, and I've written on the back of them so I know which is which. These are the 2 side ones here, and they measure, and I've got them all in my thing here, 10 centimetres by 1.5 centimetres, and there's 2 of those. They will go on there. Then the top and bottom ones, they're 12 centimetres by 1.5, and they're going. Now if you've got directional paper, just be careful of which way your direction runs. I've got all my, as you can see, these little drapey dot things, I've got them all running the same way, so those 2 will go there. Then my little excuse me, my little fill-in squares, oh, they're the back. These 2 little fill-in ones. Now these are square, so it doesn't matter which way you cut them, but when I put them on, they go in here. I'll lay this out flat, and I'm going to run them the same way, like that. And because they're square, you don't have to keep an eye on which way you're cutting them. They measure, where am I? Oh, 1.5 by 1.5, and there's 2 of those. Now the centerpiece, which I've stamped with that little dotty detail stamp here, I've stamped that on one end where my greeting's going to be. This will lay in here. There is another piece that I have cut. I hope I have cut that one and that one. There should be another piece, and it looks like I've missed it. I'll come back to that. I know I cut it. It's probably stuck to one of these. We'll get back to that. I can cut another piece. That's my back panel. This piece, this here is going to go on here. I have got another piece I've cut for here, and I'll have a look. Maybe I'll put it back in the pack. and these 2 pieces are going to go on the back strip, just to decorate the back a little bit. So we'll put that together, and I'll keep looking for that other piece. I can't see it at the moment. I'll just have a quick look in my pack. It hasn't fallen out on the top anywhere. There's always something that goes wrong. I'll have a look in here. I hope I didn't cut it up, but I can get another piece. We'll cut a piece off that. And I need, that's my side panel. It measures 6 centimetres by 1.5. So I'll just get my trimmer and we'll cut another piece. It's this pattern here. So we want 6 centimetres that way, which this is probably 6 centimetres, being cut off another one, by 1.5. So that's that little side panel. And the patterns I've chosen, I've only got 2 designs. So one's I think that, yeah, that was the back of this one. So I've tried to keep the plain design in the centre so you can do your arrangement on it. I did look at one. This one's not too bad. It's not too busy at the back. I watched a lady and she had it really busy in the background. Then she had another arrangement on top and it just didn't look right to me. So we're going to put all these pieces down. This shouldn't take too long. It's just a matter of, you can you don't have to fold beforehand if you want to keep it flat. Go ahead and keep it flat and then put all your pieces on. But some of them I struggle to see the score lines, so I thought it was easier to fold them. You could put mats behind these. If you did, I would make this another 1/16 bigger on each side as a mat, and then put your DSP on the top. If you know what I mean, you can put mats behind, but I thought it might have made it a bit too thick. This is a new pot of glue, so it's coming out fairly thick. These patterns here are not directional, so but I am going to put, I've got that more peachy colour down the bottom there, so I'm going to put this one at the top, probably off camera a bit. At least with using your multi-purpose glue, you've got time to move it around. Tiny little bit on these pieces. I use my tweezers for these, and I want the pattern running the same way as that one. Just fills in that little square there. You could decorate the back of this too. I haven't, but you could just cut your DSP. They'll be the same sizes as the front ones. If you just put DSP at the back, it wouldn't make it too thick. It does fold down to to fit in a standard envelope as well once it's folded. Doesn't really matter which way these go, right top and bottom, but they're both exactly the same. I bet I find my other piece after when I'm tidying up. Just moving that one across a little bit. There was a couple of other things that I've written down to mention, but I've done all my tips and tutorials page and everything. So this one will go to that side. We'll put this one on first. The background of this, the base is Flirty Flamingo, which is one of the colours in the pack. There's 2 new colours in the pack that are coming out. There's a refresh in the colour palette when the catalogue comes out. The annual catalogue comes out in Well, April for demonstrators and May for everyone else. Lost Lagoon is one of the colours, and Pretty Peacock is the other one. They're both returning colours, which I do love. Pretty Peacock. It was one of my favourites, so it's nice to have it back. I can't remember Lost Lagoon. I do remember the name, but I can't remember what the colour looked like. But we'll soon find out when they release it. So that's those. Then this one here, it's the reverse of, make sure I put the glue on the right side. We are going for a short holiday up to Airlie Beach. If anyone lives in Australia or in Queensland, they will know where Airlie Beach is. It's right up the top of North Queensland, near Proserpine. My son and his wife are up there. My son's working up there at the moment, and we're just going up for a mini break from Friday to Monday in a couple of weeks' time, so that will be nice. I think that's all I had to mention. Now I'll show you what I was talking about with this. I'm going to curl these a little bit. They will flatten back down, so they don't need too much curl. These have been die cut from the paper, and these are the smaller flower. There is 2 flowers in the paper. There's a bigger one than this, and then this one. I chose the smaller one because when you stick these on, you're going to try not to get them outside of, they probably would still work, but because it's moving backwards and forwards across that, I would suggest you try and keep them within the perimeter of that there. So with this is a 1.5 inch circle. I did have a smaller arrangement on this one, which I used the 1.25 inch circle at the back. And all I do is glue this up. I showed my girls at my class the other day how to do this, and they thought it was great because you haven't got to try and keep your flowers in place while you're laying them down. So my back one I put down first, whatever's going to be at the back. Then this one on top, and the glue will just hold them all in place. Doesn't need a lot of glue. Give it a bit of a press down. Doesn't really matter what colour you use in the background. Lots of times I just use white, but I've chosen the same colour. You can tuck it. I won't tuck any more glue under there because I want that to sit up a little bit. So that's the flowers, and then these, now just be careful to make sure. So that's fine. I'm going to put one there. And all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the right side, on the correct side of the leaf. Oops, not that much. Take that off a bit. And tuck that under there. And this is the beauty of doing that little circle as well. You can tuck any leaves under without having to rearrange the thing all the time. Another little bit of glue on that, which is plenty of glue on the outside of it. Just a little bit on the end. I'm going to put another one here. And the little one, I haven't used the little one at all yet. I'm going to tuck it in down the bottom here. So I hope you find that easy. If it's a bigger arrangement, you can cut a square at the back, so long as it's sort of a bit smaller than what your arrangement's going to be. Just glue up the whole back of it, the whole front of it, and do your arrangement on it. So much easier. And that way you can keep judging whether it's going to fit. I think I've spread that out a bit too far, although my greeting's still going to fit there. Yes, that will fit. And I'm going to layer that up on dimensionals as well, which I got them out. just finished a pack. So these can just spread all over the back. I did put some where the things are joined at the back just to hold them on. Mainly the leaves. And probably one in the middle. I'll do one out here. I'm not too worried about the ends of the leaves because I like them loose and sitting up. So we'll take the backs off those. Quick video today. I know my last couple of videos have been a little bit long. They were a bit more complicated. So we'll do a quick one today. Finger's a bit sticky. So I'm going to make sure this stays inside the... Doesn't matter so much on these edges. It's top and bottom that you want to keep it inside. I'll just turn it a little bit and keep it over that way. Like that. And this is going to tuck in there. I just stamped that because it took the plainness off the background a bit. We'll just put a couple of these on the back of this one. The square is from your Stylish Shapes. The circle on this one is from the Stylish Shapes dies. And the other one, that's the little banner out of Stylish Shapes. I use those dies so much. They do need a rectangle one in that set, or bring out another set with a rectangle stitch, because the stitched rectangles we used to have are now finished. I'm just going to tuck that under a little bit. Doesn't need much. And put that on there. Oh, we've got the back we can do. So as you can see, that's opening and shutting easily. The back. And all I've done is a piece of plain white. On this one here, I did do a mat at the back. So the mat is in the same size as the white, and then I cut the white down half a centimetre smaller. But this one I'm just doing the plain white, because that one there I had the white base. So that's why I put a colour behind it. So you choose which colours you want. If you have a colour base, then you don't need the mat at the back. And this one will go, it fits perfectly in that spot there. Too much glue. It's a new pot of glue and it's coming out so much. I'll run over that. When it's dry, I just run over it with my buddy. I'll just give it a really light wipe. And then I've got these two strips cut out of the same DSP. It either comes out in a gush or doesn't come out at all. They should fit perfectly in there. They're 6 centimetres by 1.5, I think they were. Oh no, the strip's 5.5 by 2 centimetres. Those two, beg your pardon, just guessing the other one. Very muggy here today. It was muggy last night as well. Who's looking forward to the new annual catalogue? I know I am. By this time you sort of depleted everything you want out of the current annual, and you can't wait to get a new one to start again. So that's that one. That's the back. You could stamp on the back as well. This one here I've just put a piece of DSP, and this one I did stamp with the tiny little flowers. That one was in Fresh Freesia and Balmy Blue, the colours. And that is it, all done. Oh, I've got some embellishments to put on, which I've chosen. These are my absolute favourite. They're the flat adhesive back pearls. and they are so pretty. I did get a couple of packs of them. I might put some big ones in the centre of the flowers for a change, just to make the flowers pop. And I like that they're an odd shape, they're not perfectly round. Oh, that's one of them. That didn't go on there. And I'll do a couple of small ones over the side there. I do like odd numbers. My fingers are so sticky from that glue. Everything's sticking where it shouldn't. Just put 2 on the greeting. So they're the flat adhesive back pearls. So pretty. And I was going to also Wink of Stella my flowers. Doesn't need much. Just I do shimmer spray this. I've got a spray bottle mixed up with, and they don't sell it anymore, the shimmer paint, the champagne shimmer paint. They used, well, they had frost white and champagne. I do prefer the champagne, and it's mixed with isocol. So I put isocol, probably three quarters, fill my bottle with isocol, and then put about 10 drops of the shimmer paint. Give it a good shake. I've got ball bearing beads inside of it. So, and then we shimmer our cards, and they come up so pretty. It just gives you a bit of extra shine all over the card. And that is that. All done. Hope you like that today. A seesaw shutterfold card. And they will stand up if you sort of wiggle it around a little bit. Just need it in the right spot, just like that. And then it goes down. So that's my card for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Next week's video I'll pre-record again because I'll be in Early Beach, so till Monday afternoon. I'll post this video Monday evening instead of straight away after I've done the video. It'll be up later that evening because we don't get home till late in the afternoon. Thanks very much for watching today, and have a lovely week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.